Hey all, Nick's here. It's times like this that I wish I had a webcam, because I don't really have any content to show you that pertains to what I'm going to be talking about here. But I'm just going to run a low-level map to make up for that fact. Just, so you all have something to watch and whatnot. But anyways, what I want to talk to everyone about today is desync. And the problem that people have with desync is, it's not so much that it's annoying. I mean, it is annoying, but it's that people don't perceive desync the right way. What desync actually is just a game mechanic that's unintentional. It's like dealing with a glitch in another game. You have to take it into account when you're playing the game. You can't just assume that it will eventually go away and that everything will be fine, because of course it'll eventually go away, but you can't know when it's going to go away. You can't say, oh, I'll just play this way until it goes away. You have to assume it's going to last for an indeterminate amount of time. Now, there are lots of unfair things in video games, for sure, that come up all the time. In Diablo 3, there were things that would just incinerate you almost instantly, and that was a pretty unfair mechanic, but you had a way around it by compensating for it with your character and with your playstyle, and it's the same way with desync. You'll see right now I'm running at 5,000 health, which is completely unnecessary unless I'm going to wind up in situations that I'm not safe in. For instance, let's say that we're talking about running Wall Pyramid and running around. Our character is caught on a doorway, but our client doesn't register it. We rubber band back into a pack of, like, crit totem skeletons or something. That's something that can happen all the time. And if your character has 3,000 HP, you're probably going to die, unless you have really, really fast reflexes or, whatever you're doing. So, because I have 5,000 health, I'm much more likely to survive those situations. I'm compensating for a game mechanic, whether the game mechanic is intentional or not. It's there, and I have to be aware of it. There are a few other things that you can do outside of gearing requirements as well, or build requirements or whatever. I am stacking a lot of HP on this character to get this high of health. Again, to help nullify things like desync, and because health is very beneficial to my build. So, kind of a win-win there. But I certainly wouldn't be having this much health if desync weren't in the game. I'd be going for more damage nodes for sure, because obviously I wouldn't have to be this safe, but I'm compensating for it. There are also a few things that you can do in addition that help nullify desync as a problem. There's the command /OOS, and what that does is it forces the client to resync with you. I'll just type it in real quick here. I guess that didn't actually do anything. Okay, case in point, sometimes nothing happens. They did some stuff with it that changed it. You can no longer like just spam it. You can have a limited use of it, and I apparently can't use it right now. Or I'm completely in sync, which never happens. The game is always a little out of sync. But when that command works, which it usually does, it allows you to resync with the server, which will update your position. So if you are out of sync, it will fix that at the cost of freezing your character for a split second or requiring you to type that. Now, you can't really type that in panic situations, but what you can do is you can bind it to a key somehow. I have a keyboard that allows me to do that. There are some programs out there that also allow you to do that, but I download any external program at your own risk. I'm not going to give my seal of approval to any particular program just because of the risk that it does contain a virus. And yeah, so that's that. But you can certainly bind it to a key somehow using some form of magical software or whatever. There's also the final thing that you can do, which is after the fact. You found that you're desyncing, You've typed OOS, you have the health to survive the desync. Now you're in a situation where you don't want to be in, that you never wanted to be in, but you're forced to be in because of desync. You know you can't survive there. Let's say it's in the middle of a pack of alchemists or something, and they're just going to murder you. What do? Well, you have a few options. Your first option is to hit escape, hit the big logout button. Okay, and what that does is it sends a packet to the server that says disconnect this person. They're out of the game. Take the character out of the world. We're done. It's instantaneous. It's the fastest method you can do to get out of a near-death situation. And it's great. But some people are kind of, they don't really like pressing escape and clicking it. Maybe their muscle memory isn't up to it or not. Some people advertise that they want to Alt F4. Now, you really don't want to Alt F4. You really want to get the muscle memory going for escape, exit to login, because Alt F4ing simulates a disconnect. And what a disconnect is it's a ping timeout, basically. The server stops getting updates from you and goes, okay, I'm going to try more updates. And then eventually it just says, okay, I've tried enough, I'm just giving up. But the problem is, while it's trying updates, you're still in the world, which means you're still able to get hit, which means you're still able to die. And on a hardcore character, that's incredibly important to avoid dying, obviously. So, while it's easier, it actually takes more time for the server to kick you off the server than it would for you to hit escape. Swing around here, wait for about 2 seconds till you realize, oh wait, I pressed escape, I'm at the screen. Why can't I move my mouse faster than 5 meters per second? Wow, that's actually really fast. Okay, ignore that analogy, but point is, it's actually quicker for you to hit escape, pause at this screen for a little bit, and then hit exit to login screen than it is to Alt F4, because your character will be out of the world faster. So, those are just some things that, that's how I view desync on the matter. I feel that that it's a game mechanic, whether it's an intentional game mechanic or not, it's there. If you've ever played any games that are like loaded with glitches, you know that there are tons of bugs and things in video games that when you play you have to take into account, even though they're not intentional, or you're just not going to have a good time. And that's how it is with Path of Exile. You have to build your characters around desync just as much as you have to build your characters around chaos damage or around other things. You have to tailor your playstyle to desync just as you would tailor your playstyle to something like Vol's Ground Slam. It's just something you have to take into account when playing the game until they fix it. So I hope that that information was useful to all of you. I hope that you can incorporate some of the stuff in this video into your play, and hopefully you can avoid some unnecessary frustration at this desync problem in the future. So until then, I will see you all later, and thanks for watching. Bye.